Welcome to a simple warm-up tutorial on how to use our watercolor dot cards. So before we start, let's have a look at the supplies you'll need. Of course, you'll need your dot card and some paper. We use cartridge paper here. You'll need a pointed round brush, which is really good for our projects with watercolor. Some kitchen paper, 2 jugs of clean water, one for cleaning your brushes and one for grabbing clean water, and a palette or a plate. A dot card is essentially a sample of different colors that we want you to try out for our project. And the pigments in these colors is so strong that we really don't need very much for any of our projects. So firstly, remove your dot card from its sleeve, and we're going to get a brush ready. So just dip your brush in water and tap it on the side to remove excess water. And then grab your card, and the first exercise we're going to do is a gradient wash. So we're going to start with the darkest value first. So grab some color, I'm grabbing some rose here, and paint it straight onto the paper. So here we've got a really dark value. This is the most opaque value of this color. Now we're going to dip our brush in water, just tap it on the side again, and we're not going to grab color, we're just going to paint again on the paper, and you can see it's a more diluted value. And then we'll start again. And once again, you've got a very lighter value here, and we've just basically done a gradient wash. So now we're going to try it again, but this time we're going to apply the color on our palette just to show you how you can use also the color with a palette. So I'm diluting it on the plate here, and I'm going to start again with the darkest value. So our most opaque color, to which then we add some water, and once again we're just doing a gradient dilution of the color until we've got a really light value. So you can see you can do it either straight from the card or from the palette. So the next thing I want to show you is how to do color mixing. So we're going to do the palette for this. Make sure, of course, that your brushes are nice and clean. So that's why you've got the 2 jugs of water, one for cleaning your brushes and one for grabbing some clean water. So here this time I'm going to grab some yellow, and I'm going to mix it with some blue to create some nice green. So I'm using my palette for this. And you can really play around on your palette with a different amount of color you add. So you can add more yellow or more blue. And this again is going to allow you to create a complete variation of colors. So I'm using the phthalo blue, which is quite dark blue, and mixing it with some yellow. And here we obtain a really dark green, which is quite a warm green actually, because the phthalo blue you've got on your palette is quite warm. If you keep on adding yellow, you can see the color changes slowly. So this is great for when you have foliage. You can really create different types of greens. Another really useful tip is you can work in the wet. So whilst the paint is still wet on your paper, you can change the color by adding more pigment over the top. Here I've added some yellow, and then you can go back to blue. So really you can do some modifications on your projects whilst the paint is still wet, and that's really useful to know. So a little tip is always to make sure that your brush is dry on the handle so that the drops of water don't leak into your mixes and dilute them too much. So I'm going to show you now 2 different greens, one that I will do with the yellow and the phthalo blue, and one using the cobalt blue and the yellow. And just to show you that you can prepare your palette on your plate before you start painting, so that you have all the different hues and nuances ready before starting your colors, and you can grab the colors for your different projects. So this first green is quite warm and dark because phthalo blue is quite dark. And now I'm going to do the same but with the cobalt blue, which is a much more cool color. And you'll see the result is that the green on the right is cooler and colder color than the green on the left. So now how to use the colors when you want to paint objects or items on your paper. So you can either use the color straight from the dot card. So here I'm using the magenta straight from the dot, so it's quite a dark value because I haven't diluted it very much, I've just wet my brush and grabbed the pigment, so you can see you can really get a nice deep dark colour. So I'll do this again here with a little circle, and then you can choose to dilute it like we've done in the gradient colour, and you can let the colours blend on paper. So whilst it's still wet, you can have colours bleeding into one another like in the circles. And I'll show you with other colours we can add to this little composition, and you'll see how the colours, while still wet, are seeping into the wet areas, and the pigments blend on the paper. And you can see I've not put the colours on my palette at all. I've just gone straight from the dot card onto the paper, so you can really use this card in a very versatile way. So now I'm going to show you how we can drop in colours. So I'm going to start with this leaf, and I'm starting with a sort of a base layer, one colour green. And once I've applied my colours and the paper is still wet with the pigments, I'm going to drop in some different pigments, and I'm going to drop in some yellow here. And this is really useful for when you want to create depth and sort of different dimension to your project, so that it's not a flat colour, but it has shape and sort of rugged effect, or if you just want to have extra interest to your picture. So this technique is called wet on wet, and essentially it's about sort of making a large surface of your paper wet and dropping in some paint in some areas or all over it. So it's great for creating backgrounds, for example, if you want a nice even or gradient background. Here I'm just going to show you how to do a gradient background. So just adding some color starting from the top and sort of reloading with a lot of dark value blue, and I'm going to drag it slowly so that I'm creating a diluted wash and a gradual diluted wash like we did earlier, gradient wash. And this is really lovely. As you can see here, it looks a bit like a sky, but you can do a field or any background you wish to cover. So if you have drops of water, or if you want to even create some effect like clouds or flowers on your background, just use some kitchen paper and lift the pigments off. So you can do a sky, a moon, or a sun if you use a coin in your kitchen paper, and really have a little bit of fun. The other technique that I'm going to show you now is called wet on dry. So for this technique you need to wait for your first layer to dry, and you can simply layer your colors. So here I'm just showing you how to use a dark value over a mid value, and here over a lighter value, so you can really have fun. And this is great especially if you want to create sort of a little foreground on your pictures, no grasses or flowers in the front, and just to make things stand out. So you can use your paint straight from the dot card to have a really nice dark value, but you can also mix your colors on your palette. So if you want to create greens or different hues, then just use your palette for this. So this layering technique is really useful if you want to give your compositions, your objects, a 3D aspect, and sort of make their shape round or square rather than flat. So for example, you can paint your first layer really light and leaving some paper visible for the light, then wait for it to dry and then apply a second layer whilst leaving the first layer a little bit visible. let it dry, apply a third layer, and so on. And this is really relevant here for the balloon, but you can think of painting fruits, apples, pears, or even flowers, petals, or tree trunks, or stems. It really works for anything that is slightly three-dimensional and to which you want to give some depth and distance. So to blend the colors, I'm just sort of using a damp brush to create really smooth transitions. So the reason we're using the Ludlow dot cards is because not only are they made in the UK, but the quality of the pigment is extremely good. So you don't need to use much paint to create different projects. And a dot card will last you quite a long time. Also, they're fuss-free, they're minimal mess, so we think it's a win-win situation. The colours for the pigments of Ludlow are the best, but there are other brands on the market which you can try which offer a variation of colours. There's also colour sheets which we think are fantastic for going on holiday or sort of on the go painting, because they're flat packed and you can keep them fuss free without mess in your bags. Also, they have a lot of variety of colours which we absolutely love. And basically, to show you that you don't need to buy lots of tubes of paint to try watercolours, you can just simply have little samples like this and have a bit of fun. So we hope that this tutorial has shown you how to use the dot cards.